Logan Paul continues to make an absolute fool of himself with the situation with Coffeezilla and the alleged scams that he is facing with his crypto zoo situation. He keeps making it worse. The entire internet is now roasting Logan Paul, rightfully so, because he is his own worst enemy. And today he had an episode of Impulsive, his podcast, and he continues to get annihilated. I'm going to show you just a couple of the zingers that we can laugh at Logan Paul over. I have watched this entire segment right here that went for probably about 30 minutes maybe. Right here where he's addressing all of it. I'm not going to play all of that. I'm not going to bore you with that. But there is a part in the beginning of this episode that shows you everything that Logan Paul is about. Now, during this segment where they're talking about everything, I believe his name is Mike, his co-host, which is like his best friend and probably business partner and all of that. There's a part where Mike, and I think he's kind of historically done this on the Impulsive podcast. He tries to play the role of the opposing side, the devil's advocate of sorts. They announced that he's going to do that, but then they play it up like Logan doesn't know. And it's so cringe because if the conversation just evolves naturally, that would have felt a lot better. But the fact that Logan Paul and him tried to pretend that he didn't know and they tried to highlight it just tells you everything you need to know about Logan. So here's the beginning where this happens.
The guests we have on our show, and today we're going to be talking about some pretty serious stuff. So if you're not tuned into it, maybe this isn't the episode for you, but it's time this stuff is addressed, and today's the episode for that.
I think by mid episode we'll get into some other stuff, but obviously like this has to be handled, and it's been a rocky end of 2022 and a rocky start for the beginning of 2023. I'm sure tremendously for you, but also for anybody on this team. I'm gonna try to take the reins of the opposing viewpoint today, as I generally do on the show. I'm gonna ask you a lot of questions that may be, I don't know, easy, hard to answer, whatever. Obviously, you asked Coffee to be on. It was something that he didn't want to do.
Can I give context to this situation?
Of course.
Yeah, first off, I don't know what you're going to ask. I haven't seen these questions.
Sure. I know.
Hey guys, I have not seen, I don't know what he's going to ask, and I haven't seen these questions. I just want to make that point clear that I have not read or know of the questions. We want to put heavy emphasis on this, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's not sketchy at all. That's not sketchy at all.
You asked Coffee to be on. It was something that he didn't want to do.
Can I give context to this situation?
Of course.
Yeah, first off, I don't know what you're going to ask. I haven't seen these questions.
Sure. I know.
Did you send them to him? You sent them to him. And then I'm sure probably maybe you have some. Anyways.
So he points to the producer. Did you? So, okay, guys, just to be clear, I don't know the questions that my best friend and business partner are going to ask me when I'm dealing with a complete and total PR disaster. This guy, even though he has complete financial stake in everything that we do and my personal brand, I don't know the questions that he's going to ask me, and I'm going to put heavy emphasis on that. By the way, producer guy, did you give him the questions that I don't know that I'm going to be asked in order to rehabilitate my image once again? Okay, I just want to make sure we're making that clear. Holy shit. And this right here sets the tone. And this is why you're sitting at a 37,000 downvotes to 15,000 upvotes on your podcast right now. Oh, but it gets better. It gets better. Coffeezilla actually clipped out a couple of the best parts of this right here. Here we go.
He's probably gonna put people who have lost here on a pillar and highlight them. That's what I would do if I were him. I'd milk the shit out of this, and like I said, he's probably going to. He's good. He's very good. But part 6 is the more he says, and the more he continues to spread this misinformation that this was any sort of con or scam, the more I have for the lawsuit that I am filing. He's probably gonna.
And then he adds this part right here.
Why did you block him on Twitter?
It's like a little gnat. It's like a little fucking annoying gnat, and it bothers me. He won. He got to me, bro. He's the most formidable opponent I've had. I'm not kidding. The guy's good.
Why did you block him on Twitter?
It's just unbelievable how broken that Logan Paul is over this situation. So again, when you go back to where this beginning part where he's actively addressing how, oh yeah, I don't know the questions I'm facing. There's another part in here I may have to skip forward to see if I can find it, but it's really funny.
Number 5 and 6, we've given Zilla part 4. He's probably going to milk the shit out of this. He's probably going to talk to more people who lost money. And that's where this also gets tricky, because I'm not sure what he's fabricating, or if people are genuine about what they're saying, because he doesn't verify backgrounds or, like I said, substantiate any evidence. So he's probably gonna put people who have lost here on a pillar and highlight them. That's what I would do if I were him. I'd milk the shit out of this, and like I said, he's probably going to. He's good. He's very good. But part 6 is the more he says and the more he continues to spread this misinformation that this was any sort of con or scam, the more I have for the lawsuit that I am filing. The defamation lawsuit. That is fucking happening, because this is wrong. This is fucking wrong.
Now, the reason I wanted to show it here is because you see how it zoomed in as soon as he mentioned defamation. So he talks about Coffeezilla and how he's manipulative and all this. And look, again, I'm not saying I'm a fan of Coffeezilla, but I'm a fan of what his breakdown of Logan Paul. But look how the camera zooms in right when he says defamation. But he didn't know. I didn't know they were going to ask me the questions, guys. I didn't know they were going to ask me the questions, even though we got this highly produced BS.
This information that this was any sort of con or scam, the more I have for the lawsuit that I am filing. The defamation lawsuit.
You see that zoom in? Boom. I mean, that is completely planned.
That is, he says, and the more he continues to spread this misinformation that this was any sort of con or scam, the more I have for the lawsuit that I am filing.
Boom.
The defamation lawsuit. That is fucking happening, because this.
The defamation lawsuit. So again, there's nothing wrong with that, but the fact that he's accusing Coffeezilla of all of this stuff, this dude is so fake.
Wrong. This is fucking wrong. And there's a reason. There's a reason he won't come on this show. And he knows it's because he can't lie to me with his chest out while sitting in front of me.
And saying that you are a scammer.
Fuck,
you are a
dog.
What about the people that say, like, why don't you just do it live on his platform?
I am not feeding into this anymore on his shit, because he did not change the course of my direction at all. He happened to make this series. It's not changing what we have been doing and are doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What he did do is got me to speak about it. And I'm actually grateful for that.
I was about to say, this is kind of like a good light, because
I'm actually grateful for that. I do thank Coffeezilla for shining a light on what even he highlighted and made in his year's worth of research in a 3-part series, is that this situation is so fucked, so beyond fucked. You could make an entire documentary out of it. In fact, he did. But now I'm in a place where I actually do have to thank him for shining light on this. He just messed up by pointing the finger 100% at me in saying that there was any sort of fraud or scam taking place intentionally.
So you're filing a defamation lawsuit against him, and now you're thanking him for shining a light on it. Good job, Logan Paul. I mean, I'm not an attorney, but I'm pretty sure that hurts your defamation argument.
Not even taking place intentionally, just taking place on my behalf.
Why did you block him on Twitter?
It's like a little gnat. It's like a little fucking annoying gnat, and it bothers me. He won. He got to me, bro. He's the most formidable opponent I've had. I'm not kidding. The guy's good. He's
very smart.
He's very smart. He manipulates and twists the truth just the way he wants to get his.
Now, I'm not sure if Logan's talking about Coffeezilla or himself right here.
He got to me, bro. He's the most formidable opponent I've had. I'm not kidding. The guy's good. He's
very smart.
He's very smart. He manipulates and twists the truth just the way he wants to get his people to believe a certain thing. He's good.
I think
it's marketing in a way, hiding behind the veil of, I don't make money off this platform. I'm doing God's work. I'm doing justice. By the way, go sign up to my Patreon.
You see how it zooms in? Look at the zoom in.
Go join my Patreon. We're gonna see the behind the scenes of my $10 million studio. $10 million studio. You got $10 million? Where did that money come from? I don't think so. Al?
I think he might be saying that sarcastically.
Or he rented it.
So you're saying he embellished or like rounded up?
No, I think he just says it sarcastically. It's like a joke.
It's in his descriptions on his Patreon, which I joined. He kicked me off though.
And I think this part right here is planned with him and Mike so that they can play it up to show that Logan's he's actually okay with all of this. He's actually okay with this.
He refunded her. He refunded his money.
It's actually funny. He kicked me off, and he had a couple zingers on Twitter. He kicked me off. It was like, who knows where that money came from?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. You got washed. You've been getting washed.
He smoked me.
Washed on Twitter.
I'm telling you, he's fucking
also,
good. He's a very formidable opponent.
He's
If
good.
I were him and I didn't like me in the same way that he doesn't like me, and also realizes how much he can gain from putting me in his thumbnail and his title, I'd probably be doing the same thing.
Okay, question, and just to bring this up because I think it's a good transition point.
So now they're going to move into where Logan has to apologize to his friend for attacking his religion or whatever. The bottom line here is that, Logan Paul has done a horrendous job of responding to this. I don't know what the truth is. And again, I think I'll have to reiterate this one more time. Not necessarily a fan of Coffeezilla, but I love what he's done with Logan Paul and the breakdown on this. But Logan Paul could have responded in a lot of different ways, and he has done every single thing wrong. Every single thing that he could have possibly done has been wrong. And this is why people don't like you. They don't trust you. You come off as disingenuous. You come off as fake and as a phony. And I've had a few people ask me about my previous comments about Logan and The Rock, because I talked about this. So obviously Logan Paul's been through a lot in the last several years. He went through the whole Forest thing, and he got canceled, and he had a lot of problems, and he lost a lot of his sponsorships and a lot of his relationships. Before that, him and The Rock had a really good public relationship, and apparently they were friends too. And they did a lot of videos together, and then when Logan Paul got canceled, suddenly The Rock abandoned him and didn't return his messages, had his PR people basically talk to Logan at that point and say, yeah, Dwayne's not really going to have anything to do with you right now, yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, once Logan kind of rehabilitated himself and his image, then suddenly The Rock decided he was going to reach out to Logan Paul. And Logan decided he wasn't going to respond to that. In isolation, I found that to be a very respectful way of how Logan handled that, because ultimately, The Rock stabbed him in the back. The Rock stabbed him in the back because The Rock showed that he also is a phony. Sounds like a guy who would publicly campaign and endorse Joe Biden, doesn't it? Because that's exactly what The Rock did. But so I lost. I mean, not that I had a ton of respect for The Rock. I mean, I've always liked him in the WWF, but and I like him as an action star, but I don't really think highly of Dwayne Johnson. And so yeah, that just showed what type of person he was, and I felt like in that isolated incident that Logan was done wrong, because The Rock was his friend, and then he showed his true colors. But ultimately, the big scheme of things, Logan Paul's just not a good person. And even when he tried to rehabilitate his image, and maybe I bought into it a little bit when he was on that path, because I do respect that he's really talented with the WWE stuff. He's a talented fighter, and he's a very entertaining person. But at his core, he's just not a good person. And that continues to get exposed over and over and over again. So, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this. I think this is just fun, and I like watching it all play out. So it's entertaining, and I'll continue to cover it if you guys want to hear what I have to say about it. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.